Hello friends, myself Jitendra Gundate. I am Associate Professor in Department of Chemistry, Shivaji Science College, Nagpur. In previous videos of NMR, we have completed principle of NMR. In aspects of NMR spectrum, we have seen how the number of signal, position of signal and intensity of signal, how it gives information regarding environment of hydrogen. Now the last aspect of NMR spectrum, that is spin-spin coupling. We'll see how it will give the information regarding the hydrogen. CH3CH2Br. As we know that these hydrogens are non-equivalent because they are having different chemical environment. So they will give the same different signal. One for CH3, another for CH2. We will get two signals. But here the signals are appear in a splitted form. Why splitting of signal occur and how it gives the information regarding the environment of hydrogen, we have to see. Now the nucleus of this hydrogen, that is the spin of this nuclei and the spin of this nuclei, they will be magnetically coupled with each other. Their magnetic coupling is responsible for splitting of signal. For example, this is the hydrogen, carbon, single bond carbon, hydrogen. Spin of this nucleus and spin of this nucleus, magnetically they will couple with each other through the bond. They are called as the intervening bond. Maximum 3 bonds are allowed for effective coupling for the splitting of the signal. And that magnetic coupling is responsible for splitting of signal. In how many the signal will split? By n+1 rule. N is the number of adjacent hydrogen. Signal of CH3, in how many it will split? That is not decided by its own proton. Its splitting will be decided by adjacent proton. Splitting will be by n+1. If adjacent hydrogens are 2, so 2 plus 1, signal of CH3 splits into triplet. Now signal of CH2 will be decided by adjacent proton. If adjacents are 3, 3 plus 1, so signal of CH2 will split into quadrat. So splitting of signal requires some criteria. In this case, the two CH2 are equivalent. They are giving the same signal. So equivalent proton will not be responsible for splitting. Equivalent proton doesn't split the signal. Magnetically they are identical. Second point, these two hydrogen, they are the non-equivalent one, but they will not split the signal of each other because they are far away. They are separated by 4 bonds. These two hydrogen, these non-equivalent hydrogen are separated by 4 bonds. So spin-spin coupling will not occur. Maximum 3 bonds are allowed. So no coupling, no splitting. So their signal will be without splitting. So splitting doesn't occur in case of equivalent proton and doesn't occur in case of those non-equivalent which are separated by more than 3 bonds. For splitting, the proton should be on adjacent position. They should be the non-equivalent one. They should be either vicinal, separated by maximum 3 bonds, present on adjacent carbon. They can split the signal of each other. Or the hydrogen, if they are on same carbon, that is called as the geminal, separated by 2 bonds, they can also split the signal of each other because they are the non-equivalent one. So they can split the signal of each other by n+1 rule. If any signal doesn't split, then we will call it as a singlet. If the signal splits into 2, that is the doublet, into 3, triplet, into 4, quadrat. If signal splits into 5, that is called as the quintet one. Now we'll take some example. 1,1-dichloroethane. We get two signals, one for CH3, another for CH. Now we'll see the splitting. Signal of CH3 will be splitted by the adjacent proton by n+1 rule. If adjacent protons are 1, 1 plus 1, 2, signal of CH3 splits into doublet. Now signal of CH, in how many it will split? If adjacent protons are 3, then 3 plus 1, that is 4. Signal of CH appears into 4, that is the quadrat. So adjacent protons, non-equivalent protons are responsible for splitting of signal. Now we will see the exact reason for the splitting of the signal. We will take the example of ethyl bromide. They are non-equivalent to each other. One signal will obtain for CH3, another for CH2. Signal of CH3 splits into triplet due to 2 adjacent protons. Similarly, signal of CH2 splits into quadrat as there is a 3 proton. Why splitting of signal occurs, we will see the conceptual reason. The splitted signal have the different height, have the different intensity. Means if signal splits into triplet, Not compulsory they are having the same intensity, they have a different intensity. Now, the intensity we can remember by the Pascal triangle. 1, we will write 1, 1 here. 1 here, 1 plus 1, 2, we will write 1 here. 1, 2 plus 1, 3, 2 plus 1, 3, 1 here. 1, 3 plus 1, 4, 3 plus 3, 6, 3 plus 1, 4, and 1 here. This is a Pascal triangle. For what purpose we can use this one? For remembering the intensity of splitted signal, we can remember this one. If we are getting the doublet, then the height of this intensity will be the 1:1. If we are getting the triplet, then the ratio will be 1:2:1, means 1:2:1. Means central will be the double than the terminal one. If we are getting a quadrate, what will be their intensity? We can remember from Pascal triangle 1:3:3:1. 1:3:3:1 means they are the identical in height, and this is triple than this one 1:3. If the signal splits into the quintet one, into the 5 one, the ratio will be 1:4:6:4:1. Now, this is the intensity of splitted signal that we can remember from the Pascal triangle. But the exact reason we have to discuss here. In case of ethyl bromide, for a CS3, due to 2 proton, the signal of CS3 splits into triplet. Why it splits into triplet, and why this has such type of intensity ratio? Now, we are supplying the external magnetic field for the absorption of this hydrogen. But while supplying the external magnetic field, how many magnetic field this hydrogen will require? That is also affected by the CH2. There are n number of molecules. In one molecule, this may happen that these are the hydrogen. Their nuclei will have the magnetic field. The magnetic orientation of both the hydrogen nuclei, if they opposes the external one. If they opposes, then more magnetic field will be required for the absorption. So this CS3 will give the signal at higher magnetic field. So this is the impact of this CS3. At higher magnetic field, it is giving the signal because there is a oppose. In another molecule, different possibility may be there. Both here was aligning. In another molecule, the magnetic field of these 2 hydrogen nuclei, that is the magnetic orientation, if this aligns the external one, then for the absorption of this hydrogen, then more magnetic field, less magnetic field we have to supply. Because they are aligning, they are helping the external. So this CS3 will give the signal at lesser magnetic field, means this will be the impact of this CS3, giving the signal at lesser magnetic field. In third molecule, this possibility may arise, and there is a 2 hydrogen. One hydrogen nuclei will align the external and second will oppose. In fourth possibility, that first will oppose and second will be the aligned one. As one is aligning, another is opposing. So mutually they are cancelling each other. Resultant, they cannot affect the external magnetic field. Similarly here, one align, another oppose. They will mutually cancel, compensate. They will not affect the external one. So the signal for this CS3, as these 2 magnetic, they have mutually cancelled. 2 nuclei have mutually cancelled. So these 3 CS3 will require normal magnetic field, and these 2 CS3 will give the signal at this position. So we are getting the splitted signal. Why? Because all the CS3 in ethyl bromide doesn't give the signal at same position. In one ethyl bromide, this possibility arises that adjacent, if opposed, more magnetic field will be required. If adjacent align, less magnetic field will be required. If adjacent one align, one opposed, then normal magnetic field will be required for their absorption. Now why? The intensity ratio is 1:2:1. Because the molecule showing this type of possibility is less, and this type of possibility showing the molecule is more. As more number of molecule is showing this type of possibility, so intensity of central signal will be more, because more number of CS3 are giving the signal at this position, so intensity will be more, 1:2:1. So why intensity ratio is 1:2:1? That depends on magnetic orientation, possible magnetic orientation of adjacent non-equivalent proton. Similarly, as we have seen for CS3, the intensity ratio 1:2:1. Similarly, for CS2 we can understand. As there is a CS3, signal of CS2 splits into quadrate with the intensity ratio 1:3:3:1. Now in this case, the signal of how many magnetic fields CS2 will require. If adjacent CS3 opposes the external, Then for absorption of CH2, as there is a pose, more magnetic field will be required. So CH2 absorb at higher magnetic field. So this will be the impact of this CH2. This CH2 is responsible for the signal at this position. But in another molecule, other possibility may be there, that in another ethyl bromide, there is not necessary that adjacent CH3 always opposes. In another possibility, if all the CH3 are aligning the external, if it is helping, then as there is a help, then less magnetic field will be required for CH2. So this is the impact of CH2, where it is giving the signal at less magnetic field. Now remaining possibilities are there. As there are 3 hydrogen on adjacent position, 2 nuclei is opposing, 1 is aligning. Here terminal is aligning. In another possibility, in another methyl group, central can align. In third, the terminal can align. Here 2 are opposing, means slightly oppose is there. As there is a slight oppose, so slight magnetic field more they will require. Slight more magnetic field means those CH3, that CH2 will give signal at this position, whose adjacent CH3 are showing this possibility. Now the last one, here 2 was opposing with 3 different possibility. Now here 2 are aligning with 3 different possibility. As 2 are aligning, so slightly helping the external one. As there is a help, as 2 aligns, only 1 oppose. As there is a help, slightly less magnetic field will be required. So slightly less magnetic field means they will give the signal at this position. Here we have seen why splitting of signal occurs. For example, in case of this CH2, why its signal splits? Because all the CH2 in all ethyl bromide doesn't require same magnetic field. Different magnetic field it may require. So we are getting the signal at different position. So splitted signal we are appearing. So requirement of different magnetic field was responsible for the splitting of signal. Now why its intensity is different one? That depends on the possible orientation of adjacent CH3. That is the 1:3:3:1. So 1:3:3:1. Possibility showing this one are less molecule, and possibility showing this one, they are more in number molecule. So at the magnetic orientation of adjacent non-equivalent proton, that will decide the intensity of signal. Now we'll see splitting in some molecules. For splitting, N+1 rule is not applicable in all cases. N+1 rule we have to use in 2 cases. First, when protons are present on only one side, then we have to carry out the splitting by N+1 rule. For splitting of CH3 signal, in how many it will split? N+1, 2 + 1, 3. CH3 signal splits into triplet. Now splitting for CH2, protons are present on only one side, N+1, N is 3, N+1 that is 4. We will get quadrate for CH2. When protons are present on only one side, N+1 rule we have to use for splitting. Second example, if protons are present on both sides, in how many the signal will split? If both sided proton, though they are non-equivalent to this one, but they are equivalent to each other. If both sided protons are equivalent, then again N+1 rule we have to use. As they are equivalent, both proton will go into the N. 3 + 3, that is a 6. 6 + 1, 7 will get substituted for CH. We will take another example. For this CH2, there are proton on 2 sides. So protons are present on both sides. So for a splitting of this one, which rule we have to use? Again N+1 rule we have to use. Because both sided protons are equivalent to each other, so collectively they will carry out the splitting of CH2. 3 + 3, 6. 6 + 1, 7. In septate, the CH2 signal will split. So N+1 rule we have to use in 2 cases. When protons are present on only one side, use N+1 rule. Use N+1 rule if on only one side. If protons are present on both sides, and if both sided protons are identical, if they are identical, then N+1 rule again we have to use. But in case of this one, protons are present on 2 sides, and both sided protons are non-equivalent to each other. They are giving separate signal. So how the splitting of this CH2 will occur? Not by N+1 rule. This CH3 proton will split separately the signal of CH2, and this CH2 proton will split separately. Collectively they will not split. So how the splitting will occur? By the rule Na+1 into Nb+1. Na is the number of equivalent proton on one adjacent carbon. and Nb is the number of proton on other adjacent carbon. So 3 plus 1, 4. 2 plus 1, 3. 4 multiplied by 3, that is the 12. Signal of CH2 splits into 12 line. We can call it as a generally multiplet. So Na plus 1 and Nb plus 1. When this rule we have to use? When protons are present on both sides and both sided protons are non-equivalent to each other, then and then only this rule, Na plus 1 into Nb plus 1 rule, we have to use. Another example. Now in this case, signal of CH splits into triplet because protons are only one side. So N plus 1, 2 plus 1, 3. For this one also, N plus 1 rule used because protons are present on only one side. N plus 1, 2 plus 1, 3. Now in case of this one, protons are present on both sides and both sided protons are equivalent to each other. Collectively they are giving same signal. So collectively they will split. Again N plus 1 rule we have to use. Means 1 plus 1, here that will be, value of N will be 2, 2 plus 1, 3. CH2 signal splits into triplet. Now another example. Now here, signal of this CH2 will not split by N plus 1 rule because both sided protons are not equivalent now. As there are chlorine and there are bromine, now they are non-equivalent to each other. They are giving separate signal. Separately they will split the signal of CH2. Now Na plus 1 into Nb plus 1 rule we have to use, where Ne is the type of proton, number of proton on one adjacent carbon, Nb are the type, number of proton on another adjacent carbon. So 1 plus 1, that is 2. Here also 1 plus 1, 2. 2 multiplied by 2, 4. So signal of CH2 splits into the quadrate. So we have to use two rules. N plus 1 rule, when protons are present on one side only, or if protons are present on both sides and both sided protons, if they are equivalent, N plus 1 rule we have to use. Na plus 1 into Nb plus 1. This rule we have to use only when protons are present on both sides, and if both sided protons, if they are non-equivalent to each other, then that rule we have to use. That will give the multiplet. Now we will see some example in which we will see splitting of signal. Acetaldehyde will get two signal, one for CH3, another for CH. In how many the signal will split? The protons are present on only one side by N plus 1 rule. So there is one proton on adjacent position. So N plus 1, that is 2. CH3 signal splits into doublet. Now signal of CH splitting. Adjacent there are 3 protons. 3 plus 1, that is 4. Signal splits into 4. We will obtain quadrate. Now propionaldehyde, that is the propanol. First we will get 3 signals, CH3, CH2, CH. They are the non-equivalent one. Splitting of CH3, only one side protons are there. Only one adjacent. So N plus 1, 2 plus 1, 3. Here we are getting triplet for CH3. For this one, protons are present on only one side. So N plus 1 rule, 2 plus 1, that is 3. We are getting the splitting into the triplet. Now a signal for CH2. Protons are present on both sides. And both sided protons are non-equivalent with each other. They are giving separate signal. So separately they will split the signal of CH2. Now we have to use Na plus 1 and Nb plus 1. Proton on one adjacent, they are called Na. Number of proton on another adjacent, they are called Nb. So 3 plus 1, that is 4. 1 plus 1, that is 2. 4 multiplied by 2, 8. So signal of CH2 splits into 8. That is the multiplet one. Signal for formaldehyde. Both the hydrogens are equivalent. So equivalent hydrogen doesn't split the signal. We are getting the singlet for formaldehyde. For acetone, we are getting only one signal because both the CH3 are equivalent. They are having the same chemical environment. So as they are equivalent, they will not split the signal and they are also not on adjacent position. So we are getting singlet for both the CH3. In case of ethyl methyl ketone, how many signal we will obtain? One CH3, another for CH2. We will take two CH3, whether they are equivalent or not. Environment for this one is CO, CH2, CH3. For this one, CH2, CO, CH3. Different chemical environment they have. Separate signal they will give. For this one, there is no proton on adjacent carbon. So we get singlet for CH3. For CH2, here there is no proton. Proton are present on only one side. So N plus 1 rule we have to use. So 3 plus 1, that is 4. signal of CH2 splits into quadrant. Now CH3, proton on only one side, n plus 1 rule, 2 plus 1, 3. So CH3 signal splits into triplet. Acetic acid, we will get two signals, one for CH3, another for OH. They are non-equivalent. Signal of CH3 will be the singlet as there is no proton on adjacent carbon. Signal of OH will be the singlet. These are the acidic replaceable as well as no proton on adjacent carbon. So no splitting singlet will occur. Now we will take the example of alcohol. For a methanol, we are expecting two signal. We will get two signal. Now the splitting. Here splitting will not occur according to n plus 1 rule because this hydrogen attached to oxygen, that is the replaceable, exchangeable one. If we are adding water in alcohol, then hydrogen of alcohol and hydrogen of water, they are the replaceable one. Means hydrogen doesn't retain its position. This hydrogen can give signal, but for splitting it should retain here, but as it is exchangeable, so it does not give time for the splitting. So the hydrogen of OH, it can give signal, but it can't contribute in splitting. So signal of CH3 will be the singlet one, OH cannot split. Signal of OH will also be the singlet one, they cannot split. So the signal of OH, it will not split the signal of another, and its own signal will also does not undergo splitting because it is the exchangeable one. Now here we are getting three signals, CH3, CH2, OH. Splitting for CH3, only one side, n plus 1, 2 plus 1, 3, triplet for CH3. For this one, protons are present on both sides, but OH does not contribute in splitting, so neglect this one. Now protons are only one side, 3 plus 1, 4. So for CH2 we are getting quadrate. OH signal doesn't split, always it will give the singlet. But when, in some cases, if absolute is the alcohol, if hydrogen retain its position, then it will contribute in splitting. Now, here, how many signal we are expecting? One for CH3. Now, suppose molecule is symmetric. Now, we check these two hydrogen. They can be equivalent. We will check and we will decide. CH3, CH3. One environment is common. H, H, NO2, NO2. So, they will give the identical signal, signal number B. These two hydrogen can be equivalent because at least one environment is same, NO2, NO2, H, H, CH3, CH3. So, they are also equivalent to each other. They will give the signal number C. Now, we'll see the splitting. CH3 signal gives the singlet one. Why it gives singlet? Because there is no proton on adjacent carbon. Now, for this hydrogen, we have to check the splitting. Here there is no hydrogen. So, splitting of this hydrogen will be this one. As there is one hydrogen, this will split into doublet. This one hydrogen will split their signal into doublet. So, we will get doublet for this hydrogen, also for this hydrogen. Due to this one, this will split. As there is one hydrogen, this will split into doublet one. So, singlet for this one, doublet for this one due to this, doublet for this one due to this. Now, the last example. Here, how many signal we are getting? This hydrogen is different from those because it is attached with that carbon on which chlorine is present. So, we are getting one for this one. These two hydrogen are non-equivalent because they are in different chemical environment. So, separate signal they will give D and C. We are getting three signal. Now, we will check the splitting. Now, for this one, here n plus 1 rule is not applicable because adjacent protons are of different kind. This one. Separated by 3 bonds. Non-equivalent protons separated by 3 bonds, spin-spin, mutual coupling, they will undergo. So this is a 1. As it is a 1, it will split into doublet. So here also there is a 1 hydrogen. So it will also split into doublet. So adjacent protons are in different environment for this one. They are in different environment. So n plus 1 rule we will not use. There is a double bond. So concept of double doublet will be there. So this will be responsible for doublet and this will be responsible for doublet. For this one, we are getting double doublet or doublet of double. Double doublet. Similarly for this one. Also we get doublet due to this one, doublet due to this one. So double doublet for this one also. We are also getting for this one, doublet due to this one, doublet due to this one. Again we are getting double doublet for this one. So we have seen some example in which we have shown the splitting of the signal, and splitting of signal is giving information regarding the environment of hydrogen. If we are getting a triplet for a signal, that indicate on adjacent carbon there must be a presence of two equivalent proton, that may be CH2. If in another case, if we are getting a quadrate, that means we can decide on adjacent carbon there must be a 3 proton, that may be the CH3 one.